Hey, welcome back. Chris from the Mighty Decibel here. It's the end of the month. You know what that means. It's time for us to name our fave albums across four genres for May of 2023. The genres being extreme metal, doom, hardcore punk, and hard and heavy. And we got quite a few albums to talk about, so let's get right into it. And we'll start with extreme metal, where we break that into three subcategories. The first being black metal. So a couple of shoutouts first. First of it goes to Sarvicus, Finnish black metal, for Woven Dark Paths. So that's the debut full length from the band. If you're into melodic vampiric black metal, then you should check out By Clandestine Will by Ave Sanguine, band out of Turkey. Their debut release, definitely a frosty outing there. Our highlighted black metal record of the month, though, goes to Norway's Immortal for their new release, War Against All. So this is the second record with Demonez at the controls, but this time without Horg pounding the skins as a result of some dispute over the band name. Musically, though, this isn't that far removed from their last one, Northern Chaos Gods, although I have to say it's maybe a little bit less vicious than the previous one, having a little bit more atmospheric or epic periods throughout the album. But regardless, this is well written and performed blackness that is miraculously catchy, something that's not easy to do. So if you like the last one, there's no reason why you won't like this one. Good stuff. On to thrash metal now, where we have four albums to talk about. Three shoutouts first. So if crossover thrash is your thing, check out Germany's Fatal Collapse for their 4-track EP, Hell Is Here, headbang guaranteed. An excellent 2-track 10-minute dirty black thrash release from Philippines outfit Pagan Fire next. It's called To Hunt, To Kill, To Devour. So early Sodom worshippers to check that one out. And the last of our shoutouts goes to Edmonton's Malicious Intent for their debut full length, albeit it's a scant 24 minutes, entitled In the Dirt. So it's old school thrash with a hint of speed metal and the humor of crossover. Our highlighted thrash metal album of the month, we are going to turn to a band that takes black thrash and injects it with a hearty dose of speed. It's Portuguese extremist Gallows Rights with Witchcraft and Necro Desecration. So it's their debut EP. Chock full of raw and absolutely deranged material that'll have you running back and forth in your living area, banging off walls and knocking shit over. So this isn't one of those technically perfect outings. There are obvious mistakes here and there. But that just lends it more authenticity in my books. Let loose, people. on to our third and last category under extreme metal, which is death metal, and we got 3 albums to talk about, 2 shoutouts. So if you must have some gnarly ass death metal in your life, check out Necro Funeral, the debut full length from Swiss unit Vomit Heist. The second shout out, if heaving black death is more your style, then turn to Greek's Hate Manifesto for their sophomore full length. I'm not even going to try to announce that one. It'll box your ears, but good. And our highlighted death metal album of the month goes to Tombstalker out of Kentucky for their latest EP, 6 years in the making actually, called Age of Darkness. So it's old school death that utilizes a chainsaw guitar tone and some thrash elements, but also inserts some melodic and musical passages, making for a unique sound. The guttural vocal stylings then package it into one comprehensive whole, making this ready for your next trip to the cemetery. On to doom metal now, which in our lexicon includes sludge, stoner, psych, anything of that nature. And we got 4 albums, 3 shoutouts. So those into heavy ass stoner sludge akin to 10,000 Years, you should check out Ingress, the debut full length from Salt Lake City's Hibernaut. Next shoutout goes to Loose Sutures for their Sadosex for Dummies, which delves in psych stoner waters with the odd hip swiveling groove and garage rock thrown in for good measure, fuzzed out and groovy. And our last shout out goes to Brazil's Witching Altar for their sophomore full length Morning Star. So unequivocally a straight up Sabbatharian doom outing for old school aficionados. And our highlighted doom record of the month is The Old Ways Remain, the 5th full length from Toronto's Blood Ceremony. So I could have just as easily placed this in the hard and heavy category given its psych progressive folk bent, but the band's quote-unquote flute-tinged witch rock bears enough doom tropes to fit in here. So it comes complete with sax, fiddle, and flute. This most certainly is a diverse outing, but the strength of songwriting can't be ignored here and lures you in and forces you to hit repeat. Think Sabbath crossed with Witchwood, Lucifer, and Early Heart, and you're in the right neighborhood. So this is a little lighter than we normally like in the doom category, but regardless, this is overall our favorite album of the month here at the Mighty Decibel. Hardcore punk keeps on kicking our ass here at the Mighty Decibel. We got 4 records, highlighted records to talk about again. So taking you back to the early days of hardcore punk, our Illinois racket mongers False Negative with their No Fraternity 8-track 9-minute EP. So great riffs on this one, delivered razor sharp with ill intent, up-ratcheted by shout in your ear vocals, loud, fast, and memorable. Let's go to Calgary now for Citizen Rage's Harsh Reality. So an interesting one here in that the Beating Heart is definitely hardcore in nature, given the vocals and the breakdowns. However, there's a lot of quick picking stuff going on here that points to thrash. So I guess the best way to describe this is as hardcore with crossover leanings. But whatever the categorization, there's no arguing the intensity and power that the lads in Citizen Rage lay out on this release. The pits will be moving when they hit the stage, no question about it. Careening about madly comes Too Many Eyes by Brooklyn, New York's Antimachine. So spittle flying everywhere. This is some great don't give a fuck hardcore punk that'll have you up and raging. Amazing, high energy, and fun. Fourth and last of our highlighted hardcore punk releases for May 2023 is one that challenges MV11 in the intensity sweepstakes. It's the self-titled 12-inch from French Extremist Delatar. So if you're up for 20 plus minutes of in-your-face hardcore punk that never lets up, this is a record you'll need to embrace. Considering that my French is not the strongest, I have no clue what the vocalist is spouting, but he's damn mad about something.
Together
Okay, on to hard and heavy now, our last category. It's basically everything heavy that doesn't fit into the first three categories, or catch-all. Usually we cover trad metal, speed metal, hard rock, rock and roll, punk rock, that sort of thing in this category. That was a good month in May for hard and heavy. We got 4 shoutouts and 2 highlighted records. So our hard rock selection of the month goes to Swedish outfit Nighthawk for their Prowler release. So if you dig Jolin Turner era Deep Purple, you certainly should check this one out. And I should mention that it includes Soilworks' Bjorn Strid at the mic. Fire up that Hammond organ. But if old school speed metal is your thing, check out Belgium's Violent Sin for their album called Serpent's Call. So think old school Germanic speed a la Iron Angel and Living Death. Third one, out of Germany stumbles Intoxicated with their sophomore full-length Sadistic Nightmares. So this is basically a perfect union of Motorhead-style rock and roll and midnight fashion black speed. So the Intoxicated ones absolutely revel in their hybrid brand of musical mayhem. And the last of our shoutouts, if you're sick and tired of Manowar screwing around for the last couple of decades, I suggest that you reach for the self-titled debut from Belgium epic metalheads, Impending Triumph. So this 5-track EP, it opens with a soundscape that sets the scene before the black wind flies with Armies of the Conqueror, a mid-tempo pounder that would fit in on Hail to England. And then the Invisible Fortress follows in the more epic elongated form before 2 more pounders fill out the package. True metal for true metal believers. So let's turn to our first of our highlighted hard and heavy records for May. Chinese Extremist Demon Slot 666 returned to action after last year's kick-ass Necro Slaughter Battlefield with a double-sided single this time with Witchstorm and Morbid Vendetta. So I don't usually include singles in my month-end list, but this one is so dang good I had to include it. If you're into speed metal, this will scratch that itch. It's 9 minutes here, racing by furiously in a blackened speed metal cacophony. Are you one of those ones that finds that 2K AC/DC lacks energy, like me? If so, turn your attention to Dutch rockers The Dirty Denims and their 1-hour takeover of the Rock Palast show. So now they've taken the soundtrack from that show and issued it as a live album. And what a friggin' smoking one it is, too. The core sound is undoubtedly AC/DC, but it's also crossed with the Donnas, Airborne, and Crocus. So it's foot-stomping, high-energy rock and roll with a smile that'll get you heartily head-banging along.
Ready, steady, go!
So there you have it, the Mighty Decibel's fave albums from May of 2023. If there's anything you think that should have garnered more attention, throw it down below so everybody can check it out. Remember to check in every Monday for our new release Mondays. Tuesdays, we have our curated in 40-minute playlists. Wednesdays and now Thursdays for the next little bit, we're having our album and live reviews. And the odd Thursdays, we do our best of top 10s, that sort of thing. You know where to go. www.themightydecibel.com. Have a great one, eh? Bye.